I feel like we're seeing him progress throughout this season, and it's been fun to watch.
He goes up and gets it. It's almost like Josh knows he can catch it. How about the touchdown? When he scores, and then he must know the defensive back because it almost looked like he patted him on the head.
A little broed him. All right, welcome back to the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. That's Mike Catalana. I am Jenna Cottrell. The Bills winning today, a dominant day against the Seahawks. The final score, 31-10. Mike, I felt like from the start of this game, as it also starts to rain, the Bills were in control of this one.
Absolutely. Both lines of scrimmage. I mean, they took it down the field and scored early, which was great. Everybody wanted to see that, and they were able to do that.
Yeah.
But I thought the offensive line, if you could take away the pre-snap penalties and the few holding calls, how good were they? How about that first touchdown drive? How often do you see 2 holding calls on a drive that take you back 10 yards and you still score a touchdown?
Yeah.
Jenna, they had 2 drives of 90-plus yards. The Bills had not done that for 2 drives in a game of 90-plus since 1993.
Wow.
That's the old Super Bowl days. They controlled the game, especially on the offensive line.
We can get to the penalties in a little bit, but let's stay with the positive because I think we've talked all this week leading into it about fast starts. You got to get out to a fast start. You got to set the tone, all this stuff. To see the defense initially, I mean, it felt like the Seahawks in the first quarter were on the field on offense for like a millisecond because of how dominant the Bills' defense was. And then to have on the other side of the ball, Buffalo be able to capitalize. That Keon Coleman one-handed snag for the touchdown. I was just really impressed with what the Bills were able to do today, and it started with getting out in front.
Absolutely. The defense early. How about Greg Rousseau knocking down a couple of passes? And then Rasul Douglas, Dan tweeted it out. At least once a game, he makes one of those tackles.
Yeah.
He's so aggressive on the edge when it looks like a guy can get outside. Those are little things that become big. Taron Johnson had a violent tackle early in the game. And I'm looking going, this team, when you see tackling like that early, the Seahawks were behind the chains, the Bills were dominating, and then they go down and score the touchdown. I thought that was a great way to begin this game. In a place, you're down here first time on this place. This can be a really tough place to play.
It can, because A, it can be very loud, and B, let's be real, the weather was a little bit all over the place today. I feel like if you rolled the dice, it would be whatever came up. Like, it was sunny, then it was misting, then it was raining really hard, and then it was nice, and then it was raining again. It was kind of all over the board. But offensively, you said it started with the offensive line doing its job. But then to see Khalil Shakir, Josh Allen connect with him, some really nice catches from Keon Coleman, James Cook getting going. We talked last week about Amari Cooper and what he could add for this offense. Obviously, he wasn't truly all that involved this week, but the Bills still didn't need him to be that guy because other players stepped up.
In fact, Cooper was involved in really the only negative play with the pass game, where he sort of slipped. Josh didn't see the coverage. He finally threw an interception. Fine.
Yeah.
It was in the 8th game, and they won the game 31-10. But the rest of them, I feel like Shakir's always open.
I'm
He's
such
always
a
open,
fan of his.
And Josh has great timing with him. He had one play, and I'm going to do this, going that way where he caught him going across the field in perfect stride.
Yeah.
But even on the other passes, Shakir makes something out of it. He went over 100 yards in this one.
Yeah.
He made key catches for them, the run after the catch. I thought he was outstanding in this.
Absolutely. I feel like you look at him and you hear the coaches say after the game, like, he's a footballer. Like, he is a guy, he's not the tallest, he's not the fastest, he's not the most agile, but like what he is able to do on the field, I feel like we're running out of ways to talk about what he adds to this offense. Now, post-game, he was asked about, hey, like, how's your ankle doing? At this point in the season, everyone's kind of dealing with something, but he talked about being able to be a little bit more shifty and feeling a lot better than he did a couple weeks ago. And today, I think that showed. And just to see what he adds to this offense, someone asked if he's an even better Cole Beasley, and Sean McDermott was like, whoa. Like, Cole Beasley, all pro. Like, Cole Beasley is Cole Beasley, but what they've been able to see from Shakir really has been impressive.
I will say that we've all shied away a little bit of him as a number 1 receiver, right? Because there's a feeling that that guy has to be more dominant and sort of bigger plays.
Yeah.
But honestly, he played today like a guy that you can count on in that spot. You know, we
Yeah.
keep the comparisons of Amon St. Brown with the Lions. Boy, he looked like that in this one. Then you add in Keon. He had quite a day today, did he not?
He did. He made a couple of really nice catches, and I feel like we're seeing that process of him kind of grow throughout this season. Rookie year, your head's probably spinning, but for him to make some of these plays in back-to-back weeks, obviously had the career week last week, had the touchdown this week. I feel like we're seeing him progress throughout this season, and it's been fun to watch.
He goes up and gets it. It's almost like Josh knows he can catch it. How about the touchdown? When he scores, and then he must know the defensive back because it almost looked like he patted him on the head.
A little broed him.
But what was funny is when he got the penalty for the hit, or when he shoved the guy into the bench on the sidelines.
Yes.
He drove him all the way through. Now, we asked Dawson Knox about that and what it meant, and here's what he had to say.
It's one of those where you're like, okay, don't get a penalty, but love the physicality. So we want to find that middle ground of let's not get the flag, but keep that same killer mindset of like, I'm going to, whip you all game long.
Yeah, Keon has that. He does play with a little anger and edge, which I think was great. And Dan and I have often talked about the guy who gets you 5 and 70. He had 5 and 70 today, including a touchdown. I thought that was great.
It was really impressive. Another guy, 2 touchdowns. James Cook.
Over 100 in this one. I thought he showed, and you're down here on the field. By the way, Jenna's got the hat on. She had to stick it out in the weather.
It's because
she was talking about all the weather. I mean, I saw it, but the press box was.
You did bring me down a Kit Kat.
I did,
which was very
They literally have a Starbucks in the press box.
Yeah, it was pretty swag.
They're making drinks for us,
Yeah.
but I thought Cook showed great patience on the offensive line.
Yes.
Waited for his blocks and then made a play. And he just was consistent the entire game. Getting over 100, into the end zone twice. I mean, this is the way you need this offense to look.
It was fun to watch. It was dominant to watch. And James Cook's second touchdown when he ran into the guy and his helmet popped off.
Yeah.
Like Josh Allen was asked after the game, he's like, he's got some boom. Like he's an angry runner. He's not the biggest, but like what he is able to add. And I think you see some of that fire that he plays with, but it was great to see. And the Bills were also super effective on first down. Like they were able, 29 first downs, I believe?
Yeah, and third down, they were almost 50% in the game.
Yeah.
And you look at the difference between the two teams, the numbers are just staggeringly different. I mean, they were 50%. The Seahawks really struggled. They got a cosmetic touchdown late, but it really did not matter at all.
A cosmetic touchdown? They got some work done?
Yes. They used to joke, say it's a Maybelline touchdown to give them the ad, but it's cosmetic. It made it 10 points. That was their one score. But the Bills were great in those circumstances. I thought they played well. The other two I wanted to mention quick, great touchdown combination with Allen and Kincaid.
Yeah.
And Dawson Knox, 2 catches for 50 yards, part of the passing game again.
The big plays that we saw, I feel like we've struggled to see the Bills, specifically with like Josh Allen. You could say he's connected on some other ones, but it was nice to see some consistency with that. And the long one to Knox and Shakir and Keon. So it was nice to see kind of that piece of the offense have some consistency because it's an area where Josh has struggled.
Absolutely. Now, Joe Brady, I thought, called an outstanding game.
Yeah.
I thought the best call he had all day, and it's something I've never seen them do, was the Josh Allen fumble ahead to Ty Johnson. I thought they executed it perfectly for the first down. Have you ever seen that call before?
It was funny. When that happened, I was like, that's one way to get a first down. And it felt like everything was kind of going the Bills. It felt like the game was rolling downhill in favor of Buffalo.
Now, they were the better team. They were the dominant team. They did get a couple breaks. Right here behind us, Gino has a snap go.
Oh, yeah.
How far over his head?
Oh, my God.
Yes. He went looking for it, ended up a field goal.
Yeah.
And then on the fourth down.
Slips.
Yeah, I think he caught the leg of his center, the guy who snapped it over his head.
Yeah.
I think Jeremy White tweeted, is that center a mole for the Bills? And he's in there playing for it. But, I mean, it helped the Bills out a lot.
Yeah.
They played tough down near the goal line. That was after the interception.
Yeah.
But to get them off the field then, I thought was huge.
No, I mean, I think that shows the defense. And they also got some breaks. Like, we have to acknowledge that. But It just was a really awesome day to see from the Bills, and honestly, I just was impressed by how complete of a game it really was. And and then also Austin Johnson getting in on the fun, having an interception.
Yeah, talked to him afterward. Big fella, first ever interception in an NFL game, and he says next time's going to be even more special.
It's an awesome experience, especially in the NFL, getting the pick in the NFL. The fumble recovery was in college, but kind of checking that box off, it was pretty awesome. So.
Did you tell him the next time you're taking it to the house or whatever?
Yeah, if there's nobody in front of me, I'm going.
Let's talk a little bit about the penalties.
Yeah.
You had the stat that was interesting.
24 accepted penalties. That's the most in the NFL. We thought that Jets game was
I was
bad.
going to say,
This
wasn't
was
the
worse.
Jets the one that set the record, and now this game?
Yeah, it was. Look, that's hard to watch. It's hard for any rhythm in the game.
Yeah.
I don't know what the NFL is thinking. It's just nonstop throwing flags.
Yeah.
They love holding calls. I mean, the Seahawks got calls against them. That penalty they took, which was a big play in the game, after the Bills would have gotten stopped on the play,
Yeah.
it was the late hit. They would have called two men in
Was it
motion
down
at
there?
the same time. Yes, it was. Two men in motion at the same
I
time.
could see you going for it.
And then they called the late. Now, it was a hit on Josh Allen, no question. He sort of caught him under the chin and knocked him down.
The roughing
that was
the
a
passer?
huge call in the game. Yeah, the
Yeah.
roughing the passer call.
Yeah.
But they were just nonstop flags. I think it was over 30-some calls in the game, 24 accepted penalties.
Yeah, it was
the
a lot.
issue for the Bills is the offensive line, as dominant as they were, pre-snap penalties,
Yeah,
holding
the
penalties.
holdings.
Just too many of those.
Yeah.
It didn't really cost them in this game.
It did not. Obviously, something that you want to clean up, and McDermott talked about that being the case. But they were able to use some of those penalties, like the roughing the passer, that type of stuff, to their advantage. So that is something where, okay, they check mark of the fast starts. Now you got to go and clean up the penalties.
Yeah.
I have to talk about Bills Mafia.
Go ahead.
So I'm down on the field, and I was, we were walking around Seattle. We saw some Bills fans. Yeah, And then getting here to the game, I was like, oh, there's a decent amount here. And then, obviously, Seahawks fans, they stayed actually later than I was expecting. But
Yeah.
as the game started to clear out, it was very obvious the Bills were the dominant win. I was so impressed by all the – good point. But out of the Bills tunnel, just how many fans were there screaming, shouting. It reminded me, it was kind of reminiscent of last year in Miami. The Bills had wrapped up the
Yes.
division on that win, but just – Josh Allen waving to all the fans, Sean McDermott shaking his hands, all the fans. It was really, really cool to see. And this is a far trip for a lot of fans.
Yeah.
But I genuinely was impressed by how many fans came out and how loud they were here in the stadium.
It's a combination of fans when you come out west like this. There are Bills fans
Yes.
from Western New York that are going to make this trip. It's the kind of the coolest trip. They are
Yeah.
in LA. It's
Yeah.
different places. They've been to LA recently. They haven't been here since 2016. And then I met fans in the hotel. They're from Arizona. And they come out once a year and they're like, this is great for us because the Bills are coming. So they're fans from all over the place. I will say one thing for this stadium, and you probably noticed it. You could see, and I was thinking ahead to the new Bills Stadium where the top is partially covered.
Yeah.
And you could see all the ponchos out in the lower bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you got to the certain point when you could tell that the overhang was
Yeah.
protecting them, no ponchos, nobody.
Yeah,
So
like a line of demarcation.
it really
Yeah,
does
I believe that.
protect a lot of fans from the elements. And so in
Does
2
not
years,
protect the field.
doesn't protect the photographers. You were down here. You had Dan Fates weather for this.
I did, but you know what? I was like, this is Seattle. It's kind of like quintessential Seattle. It really, it wasn't cold. It was, I don't know, it was fun.
Yeah.
Like, I really did not mind.
I want to add one other thing. It was so much fun. It's funny for us or anybody who follows the Bills to talk about the Patriots winning.
Yeah,
But I
in
love
this
seeing
case,
the Patriots beat the Jets.
Yeah.
Just because of Aaron Rodgers.
amazing.
And then the Dolphins blew that game.
I saw the
against
Bengals
Cardinals.
lost too. Not that matters in the division,
Yeah.
but
yes, the
Whew.
Bengals lost and the Ravens lost. Like a lot of good things happened
Oh,
for the
I didn't even
Bills
see that.
on this day. Afterward, I talked to Deion Dawkins and I asked him. I said, if you look at the division, they really have a
Yeah.
4-game lead if you count the tiebreakers.
Wow.
Here's what Deion had to say.
You don't want to look at it and like that. Every game, the division games, they play us hard. So the record is 0-0 every time, and we play. The Jets gonna play us hard. The Dolphins gonna play us hard. The Patriots are gonna play us hard, no matter what. So we don't look at it like that, but it's a good feeling to be ahead. But we don't look at it as we're ahead. We look at it as equal playing field until it's that time.
All right, so now they are 6-2. Miami up next. A Miami team that's obviously hurting.
Yeah.
But where is this team at?
Look, they're playing really well. I mean, the defense plays like this without Terrell Bernard out there on the field. I thought was big. The offense is finding a real rhythm. And I do think the running game, it comes from the running game. That 2nd and short, they were at 2nd and 6, 2nd and 5 a lot of times when they would run. And then all of the other players making plays.
Yeah.
Amari Cooper will be fine. He'll make a lot of plays for this team.
Yeah.
This one he wasn't into it. But everybody else was making plays. That travels. That works for this team.
Yeah.
And Josh Allen, he turned it over once.
It's going to happen.
But otherwise, I thought he threw the ball so well, especially with the conditions.
Absolutely.
So it is hard to beat this. I thought McDermott, I thought they were aggressive. They went for it early a couple of times.
Yeah.
I thought it worked. They scored before the half with some breaks. They really, yes, they got breaks, but they absolutely took advantage of it, and they were clearly the better team in this one.
Absolutely. It was a fun game to watch. Want to give a couple shout outs. Jason from Toronto. We saw at the hotel. He was awesome. I liked his shirt.
Yes.
We appreciate you watching. And then I had someone come up to me, Phil Lawson.
Okay.
Fan here, was very excited. We got a couple Bills Buffalo Plus shout outs, so that was always cool. We always appreciate that.
Yeah.
It never gets old.
Yeah, I really enjoy this trip. I haven't been here in a while. You got to see it for the first time.
Really cool stadium.
Yeah.
Really cool environment. A great game by Buffalo. It hit all the boxes for me.
Good day for Bills football.
Yes.
Big win. Other people losing. I mean, Baltimore lost, like you said. I mean,
I know, the Browns.
They really,
Jameis.
Yes, they are really in a great spot right now. I know the Chiefs won. That's for later in the year. But to be in this spot, dominating the division, and still not playing their best, because I think there is another level for this team.
I agree.
I thought was pretty impressive.
Definitely. We want to give a quick shout out to Mr. Dan Fates.
Yes. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. It's Dan Fates' birthday. We love you. We appreciate you. And honestly, it would have been fun if he made the trip, but I get it. He wanted to be home with his family and all that stuff.
And he sent the weather for you, which was good.
Yes.
I mean, listen, Dan got sunshine and 70
He's
plus last week.
shooting the game against Miami, so we'll see. Hopefully for his birthday, he gets some good weather.
Well, I'm sure he had a lot of fun with the family, but we'll all be back together this week. Plenty more coverage on Buffalo Plus.
Yeah, as this keeps on moving along. All right, week 9.
So we
ahead?
are. So halftime of the next game will be halfway through the season, right? Because that'll be 8.5 games into 17. It is flying. They're 6-2. Be happy.
Be happy.
Yes.
All right. Anything else?
I don't think so. I think we're good.
Okay. All right. For Mike Catalana, I am Jenna Cottrell. Dan Fates, happy birthday. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Share this with a fellow Bills fan.
Yeah, they're all happy. I'm sure you're having a good Monday if you're watching this on Monday.
Yeah.
Have a good Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should get business cards and hand it out.
You think?
Yeah, I feel like people still don't really know about us.
I know. How do they not know? How do they not know? We can scan
Nobody's
the code.
gonna know.
That's it.
That's true. All right. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll catch you next time here on the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel presented by Connors and Ferris. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your week.